Welcome to The Dogs Were Good Again. This is our 50th episode. Crazy. You just have me today. Well, not just me, also Javier, our CEO, and we will have an Adoptable special guest. The schedule for today looks like introducing that Adoptable special guest. We're going to do a recap since it is episode 50. We're going to do a recap of all of our Adoptable special guests, tell you where they are now, who still needs to be adopted. And then we're going to talk about some AI dog content. It'll be our second time doing so. Unfortunately, there's more to talk about. So of course, 50th episode, this is very cool. I love this forum of talking to you all. If you have any ideas to make the show better, please let us know. Thank you for all the support here on YouTube. I think we just hit 600,000 subs, which is wild. And then of course, if you're listening on Apple Music or Spotify, thank you so much. Really appreciate you all as well.
Oh, that looks like a good dog. That's a good dog. Yeah, that looks like a good dog. A very good dog.
A little bit of housekeeping before we get to our Adoptable special guest. Thank you for embracing my fiance Tater last week. That was a very fun episode, and I think based on the response, she will be back. I have to tell a little bit of a funny story. Last week, Javier was a guest on another podcast. It's called LA in a Minute with Evan Lovett. The episode that we're in will come out, I believe, on February 27th. But I brought Javier. They were kind enough to welcome us both, myself and, of course, Javier as the CEO. The interview was all about We Rate Dogs. And Javier took about 8 steps into the little studio room that they had and all over the place. He then, so as there, I was so embarrassed. He was not. And the sentiment right after that was like, oh, he's a CEO, he can do it. No, he needs to be humble. Okay. He needs to be a humble leader. I really don't think that he should resort to those tactics to command a room. I really don't think he needs to do that. So he did that. I ushered him out very quickly. I'm horrified. I take him out. He does nothing when we're outside. Like, it was completely isolated scenario. We walk back in, and he immediately pees over the spot that he just on after they had cleaned it up. And then we go for about 45 minutes, no problems. I'm holding him. He's being cute. He's walking around being cute. Almost at the very end of the podcast, he pees again in the other corner of the room. At this point, like, I again just so horrified. We finished the podcast. It was lovely, other than his behavior. And then we go to take a selfie to just help promote the show, just a selfie to show that we were in the studio that day. And his is out. Like fully out. Like, other people had to say, oh, he needs a moment before we take this photo. So just a horrifying display of behavior from him. And then I get him in the car. I have a little talk with him. We get home and he's in his carrier and I'm lifting him up, and I go to lift him up and he headbutts me, and my tooth, like, I had a little scab on my lip for like, I don't know, 5 days. So that was Javi's first podcast experience that was not this one, and probably his last, to say the least. So sorry, Evan, but I look forward to our episode. Thank you for having me. Also, a bit of housekeeping. There's a bit of a scam email system going around. I think it got sent to like thousands of dog influencers, our rescue partners, our regular partners. It is not from us. Basically, it's asking people to be on the show. It's not from us. The only communication that comes from us will have an @weratedogs.com address. So just want to say, not us. Apologies for any inconveniences. If you wanted to be on the show, I'm so sorry. That was not us. But yes, speaking of scams, today's episode is going to be all about AI dog content. But before we do that, please join me in welcoming Pizazz. Oh, with a little help from a treat. Come here. So this is Pizazz. You can have that too. That's Sebastian. Look. She's a lanky girl. She looks kind of like she's still growing into her limbs. Come here. I got it right here. There you go. Come here. Get on the bed. Hi. Hi. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is for you. So Pizazz is a 4.5-year-old bull terrier pitty mix. If you notice her rather long nose, that's the bull terrier. She's available for adoption from Angel City Pit Bulls. She is just over 50 pounds. She was previously adopted from them, but returned about a year later due to no fault of her own. She's lovely. She thought about an early show for you guys. We're told she does cartoonish bunny hops when playing. Hopefully we have a video of that for you. From Angel City Pit Bulls, Pizazz loves nothing more than to be with her person, or any person. If you've got a lap to flop on or limbs to pet her with, Pizazz would like to make your acquaintance. Angel City Pit Bulls says, she has been playful and floppy with other dogs, large and small, but she's just as happy to hang with the humans or entertain herself while you're working. So again, good with all sizes of dogs and kids. I got a handful. I got a handful of treats. Oh, now you're my friend. That's adorable. That's precious. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. You're going to get adopted in no time. Psych. So she may be just a tad treat motivated. Just a little bit. I have a handful of what is it? You said lamb?
Lamb log.
Lamb log. I've got a handful of crumbled lamb log. So Pizazz's adoption fee is covered by a volunteer of Dog Aid, and we looked into that a little bit. It's a dog welfare outreach group operating in Detroit. This is what they said about Dog Aid. In lower income areas where people are struggling to care for themselves, dogs often suffer too. Overbreeding and overcrowded shelters are common. Organizations like Dog Aid meet owners where they are, ask what they need, and offer support and education without judgment. Incredible. As you all know on this show, it's all about how animal welfare and human welfare are one and the same. We provide monthly food, toy, treat drop-offs, cover emergency medical care and transport, offer free spay-neuter, build safe outdoor kennels with insulated dog houses. This is all incredible. And supply essentials like leashes, bowls, grooming tools, and crates so dogs can come inside during harsh weather that obviously Detroit experiences often. So shout out to Dog Aid and thank you to their lovely employee who sponsored Pizazz's adoption fee. Let's give it up for them.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. Yeah. Yeah. I do have two more. It kind of crumbled in my lap though. Yeah, exactly. Well, and then what if you stayed? And then now what if you stay? Oh, I just want to have you sit. Wow. Oh.
You good?
Yes. Now what if I just hold you? Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
get him.
And like I alluded to earlier, we're going to do a quick recap of all of our previous adoptable guests, tell you which ones have found their forever homes and which ones still need it. She's incredible. All right, so we're going to start from the episode 1. So many of you know Hannah Banana because we revisited her in, I'm going to forget, but about 15 episodes, 12 episodes ago. And we visited her in her forever home. I believe it took her over 2 years to find that forever home, but we are so happy for Hannah Banana. And there she is. Very, very proud of everyone involved in her story. And then we had Turnpike in episode 2, very quickly adopted. Our first adoption that we could credit the show directly. And I believe his adoption fee was covered by, his adoption fee was covered by Jordan Wolf, who I have to shout out because he's covered the adoption fee of a few other dogs that have appeared on the show. So shout out Jordan and shout out Turnpike. Very happy for your forever home. Episode 3. That was a good one.
That's probably the clearest sounding.
That was the best ASMR we've experienced to date. Congratulations, Pizazz. Then we had Curry in episode 3, adopted. Then we had Joey in episode 4. She has been adopted. which was a huge deal because she had some special needs. Those dogs are always a little bit harder to place. Angel City Pitbulls did a wonderful job with her. Then we had Tortilla from episode 5. She was actually, if you recall, my dog that I was fostering, and she found a lovely home in Santa Barbara. Then we had Carrot, who showed up in a carrot costume. He was adopted. Sloan from episode 7, adopted, and in what seems to be dinosaur jammies. That's great. Otani from episode 8, adopted and has a sibling with opposite eye colors, which is fantastic. Then we had one of my favorite dogs we've ever had on the show. Episode 10, Theodore, has been adopted. Then we had Rudy, also adopted from the Hit Living Foundation. Then we had 2 in a row from Wags and Walks, Eagle, has been adopted. And Nipsey, our first bully breed on the show. Then we had Harley, episode 16, adopted from Real Good Rescue. 2 more from Wags. We had Clasp, adopted. And another one of everyone's favorites, Big Bird. He was a superstar, wasn't he? He was the best. Adopted very quickly. We may have set a record with how fast Big Bird was adopted. Then we had Wyatt from episode 22. He's been adopted. Next was Tater, episode 24, adopted by her fosters. That was our episode all about wolf dogs. Then we had Cowboy, episode 25. He has been adopted and seemingly moved to or drove somewhere through Colorado. Then we had Dolly, adopted from Wags and Walks. Then we had another favorite, King Macaroni, episode 29, very quickly adopted. Then we had another one of my fosters. Episode 31 was Ruff. He has been adopted. Next episode was Honeydew. She was adopted from the Hit Living Foundation. Then another one from the Hit Living Foundation, Miss Piggy, also adopted. Now every time all the big dogs, sorry to Javier, all the big dogs have really stolen my heart. This was Smidge. Perhaps our biggest, but Smidge was adopted from Wags and Walks very shortly after our episode aired. Then we had Willow Slinky, episode 36, adopted. And then we have our most recent dog to get adopted was Birdie from episode 44. She was adopted from Real Good here in LA. Before we get to our dogs that are still available from previous episodes, unfortunately, we did lose Baloney. He was episode 19. He was adopted by a family who were aware that he was a senior and that he had all those lumps and bumps, and they gave him a beautiful ending. But we unfortunately did lose Baloney. And then the only other dog that we have since lost in about a year we've been doing the show, is Lucille. She famously just remained completely still for most of the video. In her, was it a limoncello? I think her little jacket had lemons all over it. But that's kind of the part of this whole process. We're just really fortunate that these 2 dogs were loved until the very end. All right, now to our dogs who are still available. Okay, I'm going to give you name and then the rescue organization that they are a part of. And as always, you can find the links to inquire about these dogs in the description of every episode and also through the links in the bios of the dogs we're going to get in social handles. So first up is Missy, still available from the Hit Living Foundation. Then we have Opus, still available from Angel City Pitbulls. I cannot believe this dog is still available. This is Junior from Wags and Walks. We've now seen Junior a handful of times through various We Rate Dogs and Foundation projects. He's the best. Go get Junior. Then we have Rita from Real Good Rescue. Then we have Biscuit, probably the smallest dog that's still available. Small dogs, much easier to get adopted than our large breed friends. So if you're looking for a small dog, Biscuit is your gal. Rosalina is still available from Wags and Walks. Edward is still available from Real Good. Luca, that little alien, still available from Wags and Walks. We've also seen Luca a handful of times since filming with him. He's ridiculous, and you should look into him if you're looking to laugh on a daily basis. Then we have Jabba, also available from Wags and Walks, and also in dinosaur PJs. Popular amongst our dogs. Then we have Jack, still available from Pet Harbor. Oh, they were so sweet. The volunteer that came from Pet Harbor Jack is still available. Go check him out and go check Pet Harbor out generally. Pinky, still available from Real Good. Defender, this blows my mind that Defender is still available. He's from Hit Living Foundation. He has 2 different color ears, and he's the cutest thing ever, and he was a delight on the show. That is shocking to me. So Defender, available from Hit Living. Then we have Cody, still available from Wags and Walks. Oh, Robby. We have Robby, our Megasophagus dog. He has to eat sitting up in a Bailey chair, but he's doing wonderful with that. He is still available from Agora Animal Care Center. That shelter, I don't believe he's associated with a rescue, but his link will be in the description, just like all of these dogs. Miss Rachel, available from Angel City Pit Bulls. Jeff, another little freak from Wags and Walks. Tiger Lily, available from Hit Living Foundation. Teddy, available from Real Good. And then finally, last week's episode was with Yogi, available from the Hit Living Foundation. Again, the links to all of these dogs will be in the description of this video, all of the videos we do, as well as the links of the Dogs Were Good Again's social handles. We have increasingly been sent AI dog content by our audience with the intention that we feature it. These followers have no idea that it's AI and are often very embarrassed when we tell them. So the rest of this episode is basically a PSA. As you may know, AI continues to not only drive the entire US economy, it also drives a lot of content that you see on social media. Various estimates show that bots are responsible for anywhere between 28 and 51% of global internet traffic. Don't picture those bots as like a robot sitting at a computer typing a comment. According to Luis Prada, a writer for Vice, the vast majority of these bots are more like sophisticated digital vacuum cleaners from companies like OpenAI and Anthropic that suck up website data to train their AI models. He goes on to name a theory you may have encountered before, the dead internet theory. It used to be a fringe idea, he says, but it's now seeming like the more likely outcome. It's not just that the internet has gotten emptier, it's become less handmade. There was always a sense of weirdness lurking around every corner, but it felt nice, even if it was a little disturbing, because you're getting it from an actual human being. For those unaware, the dead internet theory is essentially that the majority of the internet is bots talking to other bots about generative content that does not actually exist. More maliciously, it is directed by governments with the intent of persuading public opinion. The most famous evidence to date giving credence to this theory, but maybe not the malicious part, is Shrimp Jesus. Shrimp Jesus was really an era on Facebook, and it's where bots created generative content of Jesus made out of shrimps or with his head on a shrimp. And then it got, like, this one has 46,000 likes and 500 comments of people responding genuinely and earnestly to it. There's a lot of amens in there. I think the other screenshot had like 200,000 likes. So that's all the evidence I need to suggest that these are bots interacting with bots about generative. Like no one is genuinely seeing that and engaging earnestly. If they are, we're so far past the point. Like it's they might as well be bots anyway. So Shrimp Jesus, not malicious, but you can see how the dead internet theory is concerning and scary. I think it's clear why I think the majority of AI is dangerous. But to summarize, I believe that to create is a very human thing, and outsourcing that creativity sacrifices that humanity. And secondly, I do not trust the people who are building this technology. There is a man on TikTok who has a series where he posts something insane an AI executive says every day. He started this in 2026. He's on day 48 with no signs of slowing down. I'd like to show you day 1.
Posting a video every day in 2026 of the CEO that runs ChatGPT saying something insane until I run out of crazy stuff. Here's day 1. Happy New Year.
I think AI will probably, most likely, sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there will be great companies created with serious machine learning.
Posting a video every day and
It will most likely lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, we're going to create crazy shareholder value. That's exceptional. Okay, so what does all of this mean for our very precious dog content? First, I am going to go over a few tips and tricks for identifying AI content before you accidentally share or amplify it or send it our way. The biggest tip, all of this, I'm going to give examples after this, and we can try to apply them a little bit better. But the biggest tip I have is to go, if you're suspicious, go to the page of the account that posted it. Not only could they self-disclose that it's AI, but if the account only posts one very specific genre of content or the same video over and over, that is your big sign. If the account is like trying to improve the AI by posting and seeing what lands with a wide audience, or they're trying, like, again, the first time I was fooled, the first time we discussed this, was a dog who brought home a bear as if he wanted to play with the bear, and it was like a Ring camera footage, but and I got tricked by that. But if you go to the account, it is all videos of dogs, different breeds of dogs, bringing home different exotic animals. So the bear one may have been the most realistic in my brain, but when you go to the account and you see them bringing home like a lion, it becomes a little bit less believable. Then, of course, objects that have a strange blur around the edges, dogs that appear to be moving in unnatural ways, humans who move in unnatural ways or ways that appear slightly more robotic. If it looks like a person is lip syncing when they're talking, which is uniquely difficult because TikTok is kind of that for a portion of the content produced. If there are people or objects in the background that don't make sense, I'll show you an example of that soon. People or objects that look too perfect, like a background that has not been lived in. Strange text, logos, or text placement. Famously, AI still is pretty bad at text. So if you see text in a video or a photo and it's nonsensical or it looks like a combination of languages, that is a telltale sign. The shadow placements are off, or there is no shadow. And then one of my personal favorites, when a dog or a person is walking through snow and they don't leave any sort of footprint. Again, these make more sense in context. So here are some of my examples. All of these were sent to us genuinely and earnestly as like a, hey, you should consider featuring this. I really loved this content. So again, this is all just a PSA to try to have people be as educated, or our audience be as educated as possible when it comes to this AI content. So the first one is one of the most subtle ones that we've seen. This post has since been deleted, but since it was shared as a news story, other outlets have non-traditional media outlets have picked it up, not like CBS, but like the puberty account on Instagram, or like these other media accounts on Instagram. It is that someone left a review of a McDonald's that gave their dog Nugget a lot of chicken nuggets. So here's the post. Pulled up to this McDonald's with my dog Nugget, and the guy in the drive-thru goes, "Oh, that's a cute dog. What's his name?" I say Nugget. He asks if Nugget wants a treat. I say yeah, assuming it'll be a dog bone or something like Starbucks does with pup cups. This guy disappears for a second, comes back and hands me a full bag of chicken nuggets. Not one, a bag. My dog was happier than I've ever seen him in his life. I thank the kid and he goes, "No sweat, it's my last day. I'm giving out free like crazy. You want a hat or something?" Absolute legend. Nugget rates this place 5 stars. And then if you go to the photo, that is the photo that was shared. This is some of these. So I can't say, I mean, I can say 100% confirmed AI, but it isn't like the creator has come out and said that, if that makes sense. For some of these examples, that is the case. This is not one of them. But that dog is way too tiny for the front seat of a car. The bag, if you've ever been to McDonald's, has not enough grease on that bag. We also ran it through Google Gemini, asking about the interior of the car, because we were going to feature this. We ran it through Google Gemini, asking about the interior of the car, like what car was it modeled after, and it had no results. And then the feedback said that it was most likely AI. We used a tool that detects a digital watermark, or if there's a hidden digital watermark embedded, and it found that most or all of the image was generated or edited with Google AI. So a lot of work to determine that this was not real. But once you look at it through the lens of it could not be real, it starts to fall apart. Also, notably, the dog is making no indent in the seat, like that front paw, where you'd assume a portion of the dog's weight is being distributed, is not making any indent in that seat. In explaining this, I hate it. I hate that these are the things that I have to think about when looking at a dog photo, or just like consuming a should be happy dog story or a wholesome dog story. But yeah, this one went very viral on Instagram. Like I said, other outlets picked it up. That is AI. Okay, this one you've probably seen. This is one of the scarier ones. And it's a concept that I think what made it believable is that it's a very wholesome concept. And I think even if you're in the rescue world, or even if you are a fan of this type of content, it's a fun idea to think that an adoptable dog would be in a room full of potential adopters and they would pick their forever family. However, this is not a real video, but watch how scary this is. And then notably, we had to mute this for copyright reasons, but there is a song playing which goes to or further disguises or distracts you from the AI. But these people are also reacting. They're like, "Oh my God, no way you chose me." Yeah, oh, no way. There's no way you chose me. Okay. Also, another tip is Sora, I believe, which is where a lot of these videos are being created through, has a limit of about 15 seconds. Again, some of these tips and tricks are going to be irrelevant in 3-6 months. But right now, if it's a short vid, you can be a little bit more suspicious. But yeah, none of the backgrounds of these videos make sense, or the people in the backgrounds. But just like this one makes me think, like, how are we placing the burden on consumers of this content? But yeah, that totally AI. This is a full AI trend, so that's even scarier. Obviously, people saw the success of that video and then created their own. In our research, we found one Reddit post of someone saying that they allegedly adopted their dog through this method, but they didn't name the shelter. So to repeat, a viral Reddit post of someone saying that a shelter actually did have a dog walk around and like choose their people out of a bunch of interested adopters. That was legitimate, and then that probably inspired the AI trend. This one you can probably play. We have a parrot.
Okay, I'm caught. The cat did it. The cat did it. The cat did everything. Any cat, all cats.
John, you can't laugh at this. John,
That's what my ex
you can't
said
laugh
before
at
she
this.
took half my seed stash in the divorce.
So this is a parrot. John, the fact that you laughed kind of like takes away the whole point of my video. So, okay, this is when I said one of my tips was if there are people or objects in the background that don't really make sense, why would there be a cop? Why would there be a cop here in this vet's office with a parrot? I don't know, but that is AI, and it was labeled as AI generated. So that is the rare case where the creator is appropriately labeling the thing that they've created. I don't think that makes it much better, but at least in terms of audience perception, it's accurate. And if you're sharing that with the label on it, you kind of lose the defense that you didn't know. Then we have a video of a dog saying goodbye to their human who is seemingly being deployed. Yeah, this account that posted it contains dozens of similar videos. It's a lot of posts. It's a lot of posts of the same thing, and then they switch genres from what is that? Like sensory content. Yeah. They switch from sensory content to propaganda. And you see they tried a long time, or they tried several times, and then they got a few to hit. So that's a great sign. If you're like, that's weird, or something about it's off, or even before you share anything, I know that, again, sucks that the burden is on us, but if you go to the account and it's a suspicious account, you can't find more of the same content that's like let's say it's a dog. If you're posting videos of your dog, maybe you'll see that dog in a variety of angles and in other situations on the account. That is not what this is. This is someone trying to trick you until they did. Again, one of my biggest tips, go to the original account and see what's going on with that original account. Also, what a uniquely evil a uniquely evil Sora prompt, that one. Okay, this is Winston. Now, Winston has been sent to us the most, okay? Winston is a bulldog that is completely AI generated. The dog has an entire account. They disclose that he's AI generated in the bio of both his Instagram and his TikTok. He is seen bowling through water bottles. Most notably, and this was sent to us a ton, we did our top 10 winter dogs, or it was some winter countdown we did. Everyone was like, why didn't you include Winston and his reindeer antlers going down the hill? Well, he's not real. That's why we didn't include him. Let's see what we said. His bio says that he's an AI bulldog, so no further research was required. If you didn't know that, I would take note of the patterns in the snow, the background, and the type of space that you're talking about. Sometimes he's going down hills that look like ramps that could not be man-made. You see that repetition with that back paw. There's no way for that to be natural. There's just something a little bit off about each video, but this one absolutely tricked most of you. And again, not your fault. That's why I'm giving you some tips, but that is why we didn't include Winston in that week's top 5 dogs of the week. And that's too steep of a hill to be throwing your bulldog down, right? So, yeah, sorry, Winston, but you're not going to make our top 5. This is an account called Blinko Pets. Yeah, I think you guys could catch on to this one.
Ready, set, go!
John. I get it. No, I get it. It's an absurd laugh. It's an absurd laugh. Yeah. So their page is loaded with content that is a little bit more obviously AI. The comments are quick to point it out. It's not a good. They're not tricking you very well, but they have, what was that, 130,000 followers, and have not, they haven't stopped with the content. It's pretty consistent. But look, okay, hold on. These comments have hundreds of thousands of likes. That's actually positive. I love that. So notably, while this account, that's because this video has 5 million likes. Is that true?
I even saw this one on my
Jesus. Okay. Well, thankfully, the top comments are pointing out that this is obviously AI. I think most of you can highlight that. But yeah, scary, but hopefully a more obvious one. One that we definitely got sent a lot. Okay, this was another one that we were sent. This was, so I actually misremembered. It wasn't you all trying to get Winston in our top 10 winter dogs. It was you all trying to get this dog in our top 10 biggest sticks. You all were like, why isn't, Toritos in our compilation? And that's because this isn't real. It's not real. I'm so sorry. If it were real, it would have been in our countdown for sure, but it's not. Their page is loaded with obvious AI content. Most of it is labeled as AI. There's a very viral weightlifting video where one of the dog's legs, or the dog's leg, goes through the bar, and then here's some more. Yeah. So it's tough.
We hate this.
It's tough. It sounds like it. It's just that entrance. It's that first move. Oh, there's a Sora label on there. That's good. What happens here? He just takes a flower and he's gone? Yeah. So again, if you go to the page, even if you get fooled by an individual video, if you see them putting the same dog or character in other videos and it is obviously AI or it's not a good fake, you can safely assume that the video that you thought was real is not real. So this is a greyhound. You know those videos, we posted plenty of them. They go viral every winter of dogs trying out boots for the first time. Well, that was the exact prompt sent into probably Sora for this one. If you'll notice, everything's a little bit too perfect, airbrushed looking, and the dog's movement is, while a dog's movement in boots is unique when they're in them for the first time, this is a little bit too unique to pass sniff test.
Come here, buddy.
And I believe, yeah. Another thing that I'm just noticing is that the voices all have a slight little echo to them, and they sound a little bit like, not through a radio. How would you describe it? It's like there's a little bit of an echo, but it's also, there's a distortion to it, just a tiny one. This is one where it is a little bit more obvious. The indentions in the snow or lack of indentions in the snow make it a little bit more obvious.
Thinking about
less convincing.
There it goes. Oh! He vanished.
So you see how there's that repeated paw, like it was too perfect the way that he dug.
Look at that.
Right there. See, a little bit before that. You see how that's the exact same? It was like a repetition. I don't know if that's a good thing to point out or not, but this one was also, let's see, the account was full of obvious AI. The comments were quick to notice it. The dog does vanish in the snow without a reasonable imprint, and the background looks a little perfect. And the whole thing, again, just like the dog in the boots, looked a little bit airbrushed. But this is highlighting that the like once someone gets a viral AI video, they're going for more, right? And then if you go to the account and you check and it's like, yeah, that's AI, then you can snatch back your like and your share from the one that you got fooled by. All right, I'm going to end with the one that fooled us the most because we really wanted it to be real. We really wanted this to be real. I'll let you play it. So, funny, wish it were real, would have had a good caption for it, but not real. The video is cropped down because there is an AI watermark on the original that honestly, our best, maybe the best internet sleuth in the world, Thomas, tracked down. If you don't mind flipping over to the watermarked version. So we reverse engineered it and this popped up, aivideo.com. The actual rolling up of the window, like I would have been fully fooled by this. The only thing that in retrospect is like alerts me to it is that text on the window when fully rolled up is a bit nonsensical. And everything else about this video points to it being in the US, so there's no reason for that text on the window to be nonsensical. Wow, I mean, those are all my examples. I think another conclusion that I'm making now, I made this the first time, but like in some aspects, it's just not your fault. And do you even have a responsibility to notice it and act accordingly? I mean, I think yes, but it's not, as long as when you are made aware of it, you correct the way you engaged with it or the way you did engage with it, then I don't think you can be faulted because it's only going to get worse, especially with the platforms not regulating it at all and not having an effective way to tag it in their system before it goes out or before it goes viral. But I think to summarize, it's getting scary, and I do not want We Rate Dogs or our audience to participate in it willfully or by accident. So if it's suspicious, please do your due diligence before sharing. If it's from us, we already did that due diligence. So I promise you can trust us. If we ever share a story that turns out to be AI or a photo that's AI, we will announce that we've been had, reaffirm our stance on AI, and delete it. So hopefully that gives you one less thing to worry about in a world where there's a lot to worry about. So as a reminder, and she's not only here because I have treats, she also loves me. Maybe she's only here because I have treats, but Pizazz, very adoptable. Okay, you got to be on your best behavior. This is where I'm really selling you. So as a reminder, Pizazz here, available for adoption from Angel City Pit Bulls. She's 4.5. She's just over 50 pounds. She's good with all sizes of dogs and kids. Javi's getting a little bit jealous. We're at about that time. But come scoop her up. Again, Angel City Pit Bulls. Link will be in the description along with all the other dogs that I mentioned were adoptable. Yeah. She's a unique one. A lanky Bull Terrier Pit Bull mix, and she could be all yours. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're listening to this, add us to your playlist on Spotify or Apple Music, and we will see you next time.
Oh, that looks like a good dog. That's a good dog. Yeah, that looks like a good dog.